Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Ilegal News for Friday, July 10th. My name is Gilbert Marquez and I'll be your host. As we all are going through these trying times, I am getting a lot of direct messages from people asking, how can I help individually and how can I help out in my community? Well, today we actually had the pleasure of speaking to Herminio Torres of Humans For. Here's what we spoke about. All right, everybody. So our guest today is Herminio Torres from Humans For. Hi, Herminio. How you doing?
Pretty good, given the current situation. How are you?
You're from where?
New York City. I'm in Brooklyn right now.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and then maybe a little bit about Humans For first?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a first generation Mexican-American, born and raised here in New York, actually in Brooklyn. I'm currently at El Gallo taqueria, which is my brother's taco shop, family owned, operated. And I actually grew up about a block and a half away from here. My middle school is down the block. So I'm a New York native.
How was that growing up as a Mexican American, first generation, right?
Yep.
In New York. My wife is also from New York, and I always wondered like what's that experience like?
I thought it was really great, and then you get older and then you realize it's not that great. You know.
What were some of the things that made it not so great? Was it like a cultural separation type of thing, or?
I think so. I think I was born in 1990. So 1990 New York wasn't necessarily the number one place for Mexican immigrants looking for a new place to restart their lives. It was heavy, California, obviously. A lot of Chicago. Chicago's got a greater Mexican culture and influence and identity than we do. So growing up in the 90s, as a first generation Mexican American and seeing that there's not a lot of Mexicans was kind of weird. I had a couple of friends in school here and there. I grew up in a primarily Italian neighborhood. If you've ever seen Goodfellas or any Martin Scorsese movie, that's my neighborhood, pretty much. Bronx Tale style,
Yeah.
So it was weird because I grew up eating like all of the Italian food, like I don't know, the fresh mozzarella and like the cold cuts and all that, and walking into like your local butcher shop and there's just dried prosciutto hanging, and to me that was normal, but I didn't realize that it wasn't my culture.
Yeah, it's actually weird because I wasn't even introduced to any of that until I met you guys. Awesome, man. So you started this organization called first actually it was Hosp United, and it started morphing into something else. You want to talk a little bit about Hosp United first?
Yeah, definitely. So Hosp United kind of started by a need in the community. Hosp United started as a mission during the beginning of COVID-19 in New York to help feed medical workers. So in New York, we got hit pretty bad when it came to COVID-19, and the city practically shut down immediately. Cases, were the largest in the nation. The death toll was ridiculous. Our hospitals were hitting capacity. There were freezer morgues on the street. Like if it was a parked car, just, 18 wheelers to hold bodies. So I actually got in touch with a friend's friend who knew someone in the medical field who had no food. They were basically eating PB&J sandwiches because there was no restaurants, no takeout joints, everything was closed. So, we saw a need, decided to do something about it. So we started Hosp United, and in the course of 3 months, we wrapped up that mission about 2 weeks ago. We've done over 25,000 meals.
That's awesome, man. And this actually morphed into Humans For. Can you tell us a little bit about actually what was your inspiration? I actually do want to backtrack a little bit because I think that there's something to be admired here. A lot of us during this situation during this political climate are kind of energetic and want to help and have the best intentions, but we don't know how to do something individually and actually, like we say in Mexico, ponerse las pilas, or get charged up with energy to actually just do something and just do it. What was for you the tipping point that just made you say, fuck it, now I'm gonna go out and do this?
So that's a really good point, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately, especially from the beginning of Hosp United to it morphing to Humans For. When I was in school here, I always in my head had the idea that I wanted to do something and help, right? But an idea is only as great as an idea. You're not really doing anything. And I didn't really do anything till I started working with Ilegal. So that was my call of action. We at Ilegal, immediately roll up our sleeves, and it's ponerte las pilas, te las ponen. Like, they give you the pilas, So
sink or swim.
Yeah, it's sink or swim. So basically, once I, took everything that I learned from Ilegal, from all the philanthropy that we've been doing, I decided, hey, listen, a lot of people think that philanthropy or giving back to your community has to be financial. And sometimes you get deterred from helping people because you think, well, I don't have money. I won't make a dent in anything. I won't make a change, But I took a step back and I saw, hey, listen, so I have a network, my professional network. I'm in the hospitality industry. How can I use the tools that I have at, my disposal to do something? It may not be monetary, it may not be financial, but connecting restaurants to hospitals, getting meals subsidized, using all those connections made an impact. So I think you bring up a really good point. I think that, and this is actually something I saw from Black Lives Matter movement posts that were put up. Sometimes you think that, being an activist or being a philanthropist or just helping your community is a one-lane thing. It isn't. There's so many different lanes. I think find what your lane is, find an organization that really talks to your core beliefs and values, vet them, look at what they've done and what they're doing, and then figure out how you can best utilize your skill set to help the community.
Yeah. That's very true, because everybody's talents aren't the same. So definitely, I think that is one way to encourage people to go out and be active, because some people are maybe better at spoken word, and we need people to go out and speak too. So there's, like you said, a lane for everything. Tell us a little bit about Humans For, and what's that about and what you guys are actually doing.
Yeah, so Humans For started after things started getting a little bit better here in New York. Once we started turning a corner and things were looking better with COVID, I realized there was also a longer residual effect that people aren't talking about that is just only really beginning. I don't think that we're really going to see the long-term effects of what COVID brought in the US for a while. And, for example, I live right now close to Sunset Park in Park Slope. There's an organization called Mixteca, and Mixteca org has been their part of the community since 2000. So 20 years. They were planning on doing a big 20-year celebration, Cinco de Mayo. That kind of fell through, right? So as we were winding down with Hosp United, I got in touch with the team at Mixteca, and they told me, listen, man, at the beginning in March, we were having maybe 10 to 15 families coming by asking for dispensas, like just meal kits, pantry kits. And now, this is back in like May, there was over 60 families asking for help. And that's only just growing exponentially. So when Hosp United started, I knew it was going to be a finite project. COVID is going to go, things are going to reopen. I know that. So I don't want to stop there. We now partner up with Mixteca, and we're providing both cooked meals with the partners that we had with Hosp United, as well as dispensa kits.
And that's important because it's not just food that people need. People also are obviously, if someone is going through times where they're needing help with food, it's also essentials that that kind of get pushed to the side, because the first thing you want is to feed yourself. But they really do need essentials as well, which is great with those kits. What does one of those kits look like? What is usually included?
So each kit right now is about $15, between 15 and 16 bucks. It's got rice, beans, all dry goods. Rice, beans. It's got fideo to make like sopa. Potatoes, onion, tomatoes, salt, sugar, eggs, and kind of like dry goods like toilet paper, paper towels, stuff like that you don't think about, but
Yeah,
they're $3 a pop, and that's really where you want to put your money right now.
adds up. It adds up. What are some of the plans of action that you have going on this week and in the future?
So this week, right now, I'm actually here at Gallo because we are going to start rationing up the things. We get large bultos, large in bulk rice, beans, etc. that all also need to be broken down into smaller things and rationed out. So that's today. The rest of this evening, we're going to do that. And then Saturday, we deliver all of the boxes. We deliver the prepared meals, and they distribute. So we do our part. They have to reach the community, and that's our partnership. I think that the future is going to depend on a lot on, current social issues, current issues in Mexico that are happening. Hopefully, this COVID thing doesn't leave a large destruction path of poverty across, Latin America. But if it does, I'm hoping that we could do something about it.
Because we all have these issues that do hit home. What do you think about that? What do you think about doing something kind of grassroots and GoFundMe is such a great, easy platform to start something. What do you think about that? Is that something that you would sort of guide people to do, or is there a different way?
I think that's a great route. I think if it's something that you really strongly believe in and you are going to organize and you're going to pull through and everything's going to be done the right way from A through Z, absolutely. Otherwise, I also think, here's one thing. Should everyone go out there, start a GoFundMe and start their own 501c3, etc.? No. I don't think that. I do think that if you're going to go for it, hazlo, do it, But if you say, hey, this is a current situation that's happening right now, this is near and dear to me, I would suggest finding an organization that's already working towards the goal that you're already doing. I found out that the hard way, to be honest with you, because I kind of, como somos nosotros, just started doing before really, seeing anything. And then I realized that there were 20 other organizations doing the same exact thing. The largest one being, Jose Andres, feeding millions of people every single day. So find causes that are near and dear to you. Find an organization in your community that's already doing it. And then, go out there and talk to people and raise some money. You've got a large network, go for it. If you're a designer, if you're an artist, reach out to them. See, hey, do you guys need someone to make your flyers? Do you need someone to design your website? There are so many intricate things that you can do with your said skill set that can really help the cause.
All right, Herminio. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything else you want to say, or how can we actually reach out to Humans For?
So right now, for Humans For, you could just go to humansfor.org. Website's up and running with our past missions, our current mission. Anything else in the future will go there. Also, thank you for taking the time and bringing out the message. I think you really summed it up very well with what you brought up. and the sense that a lot of people are going to have those aha moments where they know that now's the time. You're seeing that left and right with whether it be, social activism, whether it be protests, whether it be just helping your local community. Now's the time. We need you now. We need everyone now. Not only Humans For, but everyone is going through a very tough time. And if you take the moment to kind of introspect, find your lane, figure out what that lane is, go out there and do it. Just do it, honestly.
Yep. No, it is. It's so true. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much, Herminio. Thank you for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing what Humans For turns into. Thank you.
Thank you, Gil. Much love. Take care.
Thank you so much, Herminio. Very inspirational. Thank you for those words. But I do want to leave you all with the Ilegal cocktail of the day. Cocktail of the day is actually going to be quite simple. It is a neat pour of Ilegal Reposado. Ilegal is aged for about 4 months in medium char American oak, ex-bourbon barrels, and we are just going to pour this neat, not on the rocks, because fuck ice. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Salud.